All right, we're ready. So that thing right there killed all the power in my car. So if you're curious what that is, it's called a CarTech battery isolator. Best thing ever. So the wiring harness right here that you see, this is from MX5 Tech out of the UK, and this is the Winker module. Over here is a brand new OEM motor, okay, for the headlight. I'm gonna start with the motor first. I had issues with my current setup right here. My driver's side motor sometimes gets stuck, sometimes it's unresponsive, and I just got tired of it. So I bought a new set of motors. This one was actually produced July 15th of 2020, which is crazy because this car is 32 years old. Well, not mine. The NAs are 32 years old. This one's a 94, so it's a 25-year-old car. And they still make new freaking parts. That's cool. How cool is that? This is why I love this car, because you could buy everything new for this car straight from Mazda and not even worry, oh, you had to worry about pricing, okay? Because this was $344, okay? $344 times 2 is insane. But at least you know it's brand new and it'll last for another 30 years or so. So let's talk about this guy right here. The MX5 Tech Winker module is pretty cool because this controls your headlight motor. So you could do winks, you could do lazy eye, you could do sequential winks, and it's pretty cool. It's app controlled, so you could use it with your iPhone or your Droid, and you can even tune the lazy eye positioning. Super easy to install. One wire per side with 2 pigtails. And the pigtail here essentially goes to the motor. All right, I'm gonna get close here real quick. So the motor, this is the OE motor, as you can see, and has 1 pigtail. The pigtail right here goes to this dude, like so, okay? And then the other one goes to the existing wiring on the car itself. And that's pretty much it. That's all the work. If you just want to zip tie this somewhere, it'll take 5 minutes max to do this. Now, I'm gonna be hiding this, I'm gonna be tucking it a little bit, and I'm also swapping out the motors for both left and right hand side. So it's gonna take me at least 30 minutes to do this, but this is super easy. To swap out the motors, only three bolts. It's an M6 bolt, M6 by 1.5, and then 1 pigtail, and that's it. And we're gonna try to hide this, so let's get this going. So the first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna remove the existing motor, and this motor comes off with 3 bolts, like I said earlier, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 in the bottom right here, and then the pigtail comes off. That's pretty much it. Super simple to take off the motor. The backside right here has got a bushing attached to a rod that you need to remove, that guy right there. FYI, if you have a loose or like floppy headlight when it's closed, it's because that thing's probably worn out, the bushing. Okay, I'm gonna give you a close look at that bushing. There you go. You can get that bushing along with a new rod straight from Mazda. It's about 20 bucks or so. 10 mil 1.5. Pop this off. Okay, and then you obviously have to disconnect the pigtail, which is already loose. If you have an airbox here, like the Flying Miata turbo airbox, you're gonna need to remove it. And I've already done that because I'm working on my turbo. And yeah, it's open. Okay, take off 3 bolts, put in your pocket because they'll run away. And then you need to pop off that thing I talked about, the little rod. So the rod just comes off easily by pulling, and it'll just pop. So this is the ball I'm talking about. You need to pull straight out, or else this thing is a bit of a pain in the butt to remove. Come over here. We're gonna clean up this area just because. Since we're already here and there's plenty of space to clean up this area, we're gonna do it because this area probably hasn't been cleaned since this car was produced. Ooh, yeah, definitely. Look at that. Next, after we clean up this area right here, we're gonna use the new motor, and then also we're gonna use new bolts. So you can see this is the old bolt. We're gonna use this M6 1.0 by 45 millimeter long stainless steel bolts. Okay, here we go. Let's slide this in, and then place the bolts. Good. I like to shake it so it kind of drops into place. Looks like it works. Everything's good. So here's the new unit installed, as you can see. New bolts, new motor, and I redid some of the wiring here. So this took a little bit longer than I wanted, but it's fine. That's in. This side's in as well, as you can see. Next, I'm going to take off the cooling panel here and see if we can hide that box somewhere inside there. So here's what we're working with. Lots of space over here. Intercoolers down there, as you can see, that's silver. And I actually added these pads along the radiator panel because it kind of vibrates sometimes and it's kind of annoying. So I got this on Amazon. It's just weather stripping. Got a new latch right here, super clean. The Sheepy Race custom intercoolers right there. So I'm gonna hide it somewhere over here and hopefully I can bolt it on and hide all the wires. I'm gonna dump this in here just so we can measure how much space we need. So I'm gonna cut this thing down. There's really not much I can teach you guys here that you guys probably don't already know. I'm basically just shortening the wires, okay? So cutting it here and moving it in to get the proper length that I need. But I'm gonna do it from this side of the harness itself. So you're basically just gonna watch me do this. This is pretty much the new harness right here, shortened down, and then we're just gonna go to the car right here and solder these guys in. Next, I'm gonna open this thing up. I took out the screws from the top, and then basically I wanna know where the chip is so I can put riv nuts on here so I can put a mounting bracket. Now you gotta be careful not to screw this up while you're doing this because that would be a bad day. MX5 Tech is probably tripping out by now. I'm sorry. I swear, I'm trying to take care of your goods. So here's the brain. Pretty cool. Really nice, actually. Look at that craftsmanship. Not sure if these things were like mass produced or made in-house, but that's pretty cool. The box itself looks like it's carbon printed. I don't know, but it's printed for sure. And it's 100% sure not waterproof, because around this area, it's completely open. So water can go in there and bad things can happen, and things can corrode inside, moisture can get in there. So if you're unsure, just add a little bit of silicone in here if you're gonna do it this way. I doubt any of you guys will open and go through this trouble, but I'm gonna redo the wiring. I might as well bulletproof this, because I'm gonna be mounting this in an area where it might get wet. And even if you mount it the way that MX5 Tech wants you to on the diagnostic port box, if you're washing your car and you're pressure washing your engine bay, you can blow water through this area. So one thing I'm gonna do here is, I noticed that there's some flux on here, maybe from soldering. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deflux it. Okay, so I'm gonna spray the heck out of this thing. Basically, this is like brake cleaner, but for flux. And then after that, I'm gonna spray it down with conformal coating. Conformal coating is like a clear coat, but for electronics. And essentially, once you have that done, you can dip this in water and nothing will happen. But this makes the project about a 2-day project. Why? Because I need to freaking let this thing dry after I spray it down. So this is gonna be a 2-day project. All right, 9 hours later, this is how it looks like. Look at that thing, fully coated in conformal coating. This thing's now waterproof and pretty much sealed from the elements. This is ready to go. And on this side off the camera, I actually made a bracket to install this, and it's pretty nice and clean. You can buy this stuff from Home Depot. It's basically just a 3-foot piece of 90-degree angle. I pretty much drilled through the 3D printed piece here and then put a nut on the other side. And on this side right here, I have a nutsert, as you can see. If you guys don't know how to make these brackets, you can watch my diffuser how-to video, and I pretty much cover all that stuff. And then as far as the nutsert, I have a nutsert video where I explain how to use nutserts, as you can see right there. Now the assembly portion is pretty easy. I cleaned up the excess silicone that was on here originally, and then we're just gonna drop this guy in, like so. Okay, and then you take the cap and pop the cap on here. And then you just put screws right here, boom, boom. And that's pretty much it. This is gonna mount upside down on the car, just like that. And since I've already conformal coated the board, it doesn't really matter if I put silicone around the edges right here, but it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna show you where this thing is gonna freaking mount. It's gonna essentially mount in front of the hood latch, okay? Right on the frame around the perimeter of the bumper. And I'll show you that here in a minute, but let me put some silicone on here and then we'll go on the car. So for the adhesive, we're gonna use this Tamiya Craft Bond. If you guys are into models and RC models and stuff, we use this for a bunch of that stuff. I actually use this glue to glue on the gauges from RS Refine. Super good stuff. It holds pretty damn well and really strong. Though it looks white, it's gonna dry clear. Now don't worry too much about the leftover glue getting all over your fingers. Like I said, this is water-based and it's a pretty friendly formula. Once you let it dry though, it's a total nightmare to remove. But right now, you can just get a wet rag and wipe the module and it comes out super clean. Like nothing's there. Okay. Seriously, just like nothing. I love this stuff. I use it for everything. It's the freaking best kept secret right here in the crafts world. Okay. See that? All right, so we got all the wires routed left and right, as you can see right here. And then here's the bracket that we made. We're gonna bolt this guy down, facing this way. So we're gonna move these wires to the back real quick. We're gonna wiggle this guy around. Little tight here, little tight. Okay. I know you guys can't see any of this stuff that's being done right now, but I'll show you guys after how it's situated down here. Obviously this is tailored to my use, but you guys can do the same thing. You can make your own bracket. The bracket's super easy to do and probably took me 10 minutes. So you can do it as well. Doesn't need to be as pretty as mine. It could just be a simple 90-degree angle. Then I'm using a button head right here. Okay. It's been a good 2 hours or so. Everything's done. As you can see right there, the motor only has one connector and it's hiding right there. The rest is stuffed behind the bumper right here. It's hard to see from this angle, but the controller's right there. As you can see, the two bolts right in the center, and I routed the wires through the back right here. Okay, so let's go through the app here real quick. This works for your Android and for your Apple. So let's get closer here. I'm gonna go to Wink Mod Setup, and as you can see up here, the one flash action, you can change that. Two flash action, you can change that. Three flash action, 4, and sleepy eye height. You can change all this stuff. Sleepy eye height you can change. So say I want to see what it is right now. So I'm going to test. Okay, so currently that's my sleepy eye height. All right. Now, if I want to change that, I can go back up here and change the values to say, the main adjuster is right here, but if I want to fine tune it, I can go, let's go to 10 or maybe 13. Let's go to 12. I'm indecisive today. So now when you look at this thing, it's higher. See that? Now I'm going to change it to say 7. Okay, so we're going to go to 7. See that? And I could go to 4. See that? Like a tiny little crack. Hell, I could go to 2 and see what happens. Super sleepy or what? All right, so if I go to 10 on the fine tuning, that's what you get. Now I'm going to change the top up here and change this to say 4, and we're going to test. Okay, and that's basically 4 right there. And from 4 I can fine tune it again, just like what we did earlier. So from 4 or 3 up here, sorry, I can go down to say, I don't know, 7. And what does that do? See? So you can fine tune like a lot of the movements. So your initial setup will be the top where number 3 is, and then your fine tuning will be right here. And once you're happy with it, you can just hit apply all changes and you're good. Now we can go to do winks right here. Okay, so from here you can go left, right, both together, wink left to right, double wink, and you can do a bunch of things here, and also sleepy eye on or off. Depending on how you set this up, you can actually switch the left and the right on the app itself. So just FYI, if you put the wrong wire, not wrong, but if you put the wiring on the opposite side, you could swap that out on the app itself. So on the app itself right here, you can do swap left to right, right in the center right there. Okay, just in case. So we're gonna go back to the main menu here, and then I'm gonna show you wink left. Okay, and I do have those new motors. That's why they sound so like modern. Okay, wink right, wink both together, left, right, right, left, double wink together, double wink left, right. That's pretty funny. The opposite. And then it says Mexican wink left, right. What the heck is a Mexican wink? I have Mexican friends, they never do that. That's pretty funny though, I like that. That's probably my favorite, and then this. That's funny. And sleepy eye. So as you can see, the app has pretty much everything you need. So if you need to fine tune or change or anything, you can do it all through the app. You need to turn on the GPS though to use this app, because initially when I first set this up, it didn't work. And I was like, why wasn't it work? It was because I didn't have the GPS on. Without the GPS on, it's not gonna find where the module is. So again, go to Wink Mod Setup, and you can change a lot of the items here, especially your lazy eye. So my lazy eye is a little low right now. I'm gonna apply that change. Okay, and I'm gonna go back, and as you can see right now, that's my current lazy eye. I'm gonna turn it off and apply the new change. Yeah, it's a little bit, I guess. Pretty cool, right?